All right, so yeah, we here. What's this? Vipers. Vipers never win, and Vipers are full of a lot of old people. As you see in the bottom screen right here, cousin, keep slide to the right, please.
Bro, you can't see me,
No, I'm
bro.
saying
I'm
like
right in the
you're
middle.
so far left is what I'm telling you.
I'm so far left. I'm
Yes,
so
you're
far
very far left.
left.
We're good. Stay right there. See, you keep swinging right there. This is the old head that you see here. He should be a part of the Vipers. He looked like a poor boy Santa to me a little bit. But let's get right into it. Yeah, hit that play button. Ready, set, go.
The second term of the mayoral campaign of the South City Vipers is coming to a close, so it's time to look at the future and new candidates, along with our incumbent iPod King
That
Carter.
do
So
look
let's
like a
introduce
kid,
our
don't
new
they?
candidates.
Don't look like a kid.
Let's start with Brutal Sim. Brutal, what's going on?
What up? What
I'm a
up?
big fan of Brutal.
What's
So, what
going
you feel
on?
about Brutal?
Let's
I'm a
go on
fan.
and say hello to Drew the Flight. Drew is, of course, one of the leading rep guys, and as we continue to elevate guys,
Sean,
that
can you
I'm
hear
not
me?
as aware of, but
Yeah, I hear you.
somebody that's been
Yeah, I hear
grinding
you.
and one of the top rep guys in the entire game. Drew, what's going on?
What's up? What's up?
Yeah, I don't know Drew. You know
Say
Drew? Can you
what?
think about Drew?
He is
No,
our former
no,
Make-A-Wish
Drew.
kid, but
No,
now has
no,
built a
Drew.
huge presence
They say he
on
want to top.
social
They
media.
say he want
Will
to top rap
Floyd,
guys.
Will,
So I
what's
don't
going
know.
on?
I ain't heard of him.
Going on.
Will,
Must be
Will.
doing the
amazing.
scene this
You've
year.
been
Must be
so
So
doing the
Will
scene
is
this
a
year.
Make-A-Wish
Something.
kid?
From a year ago, I'm like, who is this guy? Okay, all right, and then finally, our incumbent mayor, the one and only iPod King Carter. iPod, what's going on?
Yeah, what's going on, y'all? I'm already gonna say it. I need another term. Thanks.
Oh, all
Oh,
right, we're starting
I
strong.
probably feel a little
Okay,
confident his
before we
boy
get
head
there, I
self.
wanted to hear a little
But
bit from you
I
guys
look like I
about
like
your
Brutal in
TK
this
resume
situation.
straight from the horse's mouth. So let's get it going. Drew the Flight, you're new on the scene, but you've been playing a long time, and you're one of the leading rep guys. Talk about your 2K resume.
Well, I started playing 2K around 2K14, but around 2K15, I really got competitive with it, and I started like really grinding rep.
Bro, Drew
I
look
was
like
like
a
a top rep
baby.
ever since I was like 13 years old. I've been grinding this game non-stop, and yeah, I'm known in the community as like a grinder, top rep, and like a competitive player.
Okay, very good. Brutal Sin, introduce yourself for those who are not aware. Tell me about your 2K resume.
Yeah, well, I've played the first 2K, of course, on Dreamcast. I've always been playing 2K because I'm a basketball head, play college basketball, so you know, it's just basketball, so it's easy to me pretty much. Always been a grinder,
Sean, how
always
you
got
feel
mad
about Brutal,
stats,
man?
always going for top rep. So yeah,
I'm brutal.
content
I'm
creator
brutal.
in
Brutal be a good mayor?
2016, and
I
just
mean,
it just
other
keep
than
going.
be able to make
All
it,
right.
what he had to do.
What
I don't know
rep
what
do you
he had to
consider
do.
you as a
Say anything
follow
limited with
on the
all the
scene?
limits.
I ain't
Say
gonna
anything
cap. I'm
limited
gonna
with.
get
So I mean,
I'll get iPod another run.
On next gen. How is the logo kind of
down,
changed
down,
from
like,
A lot of sharks out
that's
there
time
right
for me
now
to
coming
go.
for my neck. A
yeah.
lot of
I'm trying
sharks,
to think,
you
what the hell
know.
did he do? I'm
And
trying to think,
it
what
was
the hell
just
did
an
he
honor
do? Like, I
being
don't
like
know
I'm
what
from
he
the
do. Like, what
Caribbean,
did he do?
of course. Played college ball in the US, on scholarship or whatever. So this is just amazing to me. And yeah, it's the crowds is coming out. Just a whole new dynamic to it.
Cool. Will Floyd, Buddy Boy, of course. Uh, in the last year or so, you've obviously become known in the community for a variety of reasons, but really you've taken that kind of platform and built this social media presence. So I thought this would be an interesting opportunity for you. Talk to me about, for those of who aren't aware, tell everybody about your 2K resume and how it's going in next gen 2K21.
Um, so basically, like I've been playing 2K since 17, and I've always loved it. And I had an opportunity to do the Make a Wish, and I chose to go to 2K headquarters in December, and I got scanned in and met everybody at 2K. And then later on in March, I got the Make a Wish logo. I was the first kid with it, and so that was really special. A
That's
lot of
fire,
folks
son.
were able to
You
get
hear
it.
me?
Um,
Huh?
and then
Like
yeah, I
that
just
Make a
been
Wish
playing 2K
shit
ever
is
since
pretty
and
dope. I
started a
like what they
YouTube
doing with
channel,
that. No
and
cap.
been doing that along with Twitch and staying active on Twitter and all that stuff too.
Do you think that you've gained a presence as a role model that'll suit you well as a mayor?
Um, I think I have, yes. I think I'm positive and somebody who would be a good leader.
Okay, we'll get more into your leadership skills in just a little bit. But speaking of leaders, the incumbent mayor himself, iPod King Carter.
I don't know,
obviously
son.
your
I
resume is
probably might
pretty
got
well
this in
known,
the
but I'd
bag.
like
What
to
you
hear
think,
from
Ray?
you
You're going
how
to
you
different
felt
kids.
Huh?
generally the
You got
first
leaders
term
on
went.
today.
I believe that the first term was not only short, but I feel like the holidays really didn't allow me to take on some of the actual mayoral things that I wanted to do, like speak to the devs, talk to them about the game itself, as well as I did reach out to a lot of streamers, a lot of new players. I got probably about, I would say 300 to 400 people to switch over to the Viper. So I'm hoping that Rival Day will look a little bit better for us. I'm looking for number
Y'all
one,
ain't do
but
bad,
to get number
though.
two, that
Y'all
will
ain't do
blow
bad,
everybody out the
iPod.
water. But the thing for me is, the holiday really, it really messed up what I wanted to do. And I noticed that I was like, hey, it's already January 4th and they're finally getting back to work. I've been working all week. So, I'm hoping that I
No
can get
cap,
another
you
turn
hear
and
him,
actually do
son?
a little bit more.
That's fair. What kind of goals do you think that you set that you felt maybe you felt short that you'd like a second term to address?
I definitely want to get us new courts. Of course, we did have the 2v2 showdown last night, and you pitted me against some demons. You know what I
Hey,
mean?
look, that's the level of competition in
Yeah, of
2K.
course.
You
Of
can't not
course.
use that as an excuse because you're
Oh
always
no,
going
it's
to come
definitely
and
it's
chase
definitely
the
not an
best.
excuse. We literally could have won that 2v2 showdown, but I
You
know
could.
that looking at those designs, it made me even more hungrier to get a court for us because man, some of those designs are beautiful. And every day, the only question people have is when are we going to get courts? We
No
have a lot of
cap. That
problems,
should be
but the
your
biggest
questions.
question
Y'all
is when are
haven't
we going to get a
won.
court? So I want to address that as well as some new hot fixes, a couple patches down the line that can actually make the gameplay better. But I also want that bump and rep for everybody at the park, man. I wanna bring people out of the wreck, man. I seem like when I load into 2K, because sometimes we have the group up in one spot, it's so many people just standing around in the wreck. They could be at the park playing some actual games. So that's what I
Yeah, but
really
that's
want to
part
do.
of the job of the mayor. We'll talk about that in a second. To get those people that are sitting around to feel compelled to play,
Mhm.
I'll get back to that in a minute. But let's talk about everybody else's goals as the mayor. Drew, tell me about what your goals would be if you were mayor.
They
And how
got
you think
kids running
iPod
for
has
mayor,
done
man. You
as
see
you
this,
run.
son?
I think iPod did
Huh?
a wonderful job,
Huh?
They
but
got kids running for
I
mayor,
think the
son.
2v2 could have went different if he had way more
Mhm.
experience. If he
Imagine if
played the
I'd
game a little
have
bit
had
more,
Keanu Ray up there with me.
like myself. And my plan,
Mhm.
if I was to be a mayor, is to
Mhm.
get us new courts because we already about to be in February. We don't have new courts. It's looking dry out there. Everybody don't want to play.
It
Everybody's
looking
wrecked.
dry
And that's my
out.
goal is try to get
Looking
everybody
dry
from
out there.
other affiliations to
Sean,
try
you
to
gotta
get to
turn me
Viper
down. I'm
and
coming in
try to get on
2K.
top again.
Well, Will, you kind of a nice balance
Sean
of
is fell
both.
asleep.
You
Look
played
at
a
this.
game a ton. You've done,
Sean is
several
asleep.
thousand games played. But obviously, you've understood and learned a lot about marketing.
He's
Talk to me
asleep.
about what your goals as mayor would be, and if you think iPod, where you think you may have fallen short.
Um, no, I think iPod did fine. I just like he said himself, like with the holidays and the time he had. I mean, definitely with more time, I feel like he could have got more done. But my goals as a mayor would be kind of what Drew said as well, to get some new courts. And I feel like definitely with my talent and how good I am at the game, I could definitely help us get new courts. And then I really want to iPod said himself, just like talk about the game and just give input and stuff like that. I actually was able to talk to Mike Wang yesterday just about different stuff and a hot fix that came in today, fixing like special delivery and etc. So just to be able to talk about the game and help improve it the best we can, and then
So
just
what
get
do
the
special
Vipers on the
delivery
map.
do, Sean?
That's pretty much my goal.
Okay, Brutal Sim.
Special
Same
delivery,
question for you. What are your
special
goals?
delivery,
Just to bring
boost
just to
your
bring
your
Southside together.
takeover and
I don't think
your
we can
takeover and
I think
and it
first
boost when you
we
throw
got
lob, so
we
it
got a
helps you
lot
when
of
you
casuals
can
that
throw the
people that
lob
work
and you can throw the bounce
like
lob
in
and
our jobs or
to
work
throw the
school,
lob
and
off the
then we got some.
backboard.
Most of the sweats or the really like try hards went to East, and we already know they went to followed in the beginning. They followed
Tyson.
Ticino, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, for Ticino and grinding. So we got the people that works of got a full day job just want to relax and play a few hours,
So
just to
how do you
motivate
plan
them,
on changing that?
just to like we could possibly like put out a like who like in these rivalry weekends who got the most wins or something, we could give them like cash prize or something like or VC prizes. Some to bring them out.
Okay.
Something to bring them out. Just so
We might
kinda
have an
help
Yes,
them
opportunity
sir.
for you to do that, which I haven't announced
Yes,
yet.
sir.
But I feel you. iPod, what are your comments on what the other guys said, and who do you think from the other mayors that you could kind of fiend and learn from that have had a successful campaign, either in the first or second term?
Well, to be honest, when it comes to the other mayors, I don't want to do it like they did it. I like what Brutal said, like bringing the Vipers together, because I believe that there are a lot of creators that are split on different consoles. Like a lot of people are on Xbox, like Brutal here. I'm on PlayStation, but what I feel like it is that we need to actually just reach out to everyone. Some of the top rep guys, some of the people that just want to just grind the game and say, "Yo, let's go ahead and hit the park." I always have an open invitation. That's why I play so many games with so many different Viper players, because I'm accessible like that. And I feel like accessibility is the key to being a mayor. You have to be accessible. If you're not, then people always just be like, "Oh well, he just plays with his friends and that's it." So I'm hoping that, for any mayor out there, whether it's an old mayor or a new mayor coming in, I hope that you're accessible. You know what I mean? So that's my main thing that I see from
So
everyone's
I have a
comments.
comment on that, and because I'm also South City Vipers, I can say the same thing. I can say this honestly. The first, you're totally right about accessibility. That's something that needs to be addressed. But I think a lot of people have said that the first term mayor, Shakedown, that was his central focus. And in your debate, when you went up against Shakedown and eventually beat him, you said that that was not what you wanted to do, right? Like you wanted to shake it up and try to get more competitive. Which one is it? Because I need to understand, and I think the community needs to understand, how are you going to turn the tide and really make an impact in this weekend's rival
Rival day. That's a
So
fact.
I'm glad that you said that. Actually, that wasn't the case. What Shakedown wanted was to be more competitive, to get out there and just play more games. What I wanted was to bring people to the Vipers. That has been the main focus for me since day one. I literally made a video during the voting period telling people, "Hey, come on over and vote." And people literally pulled up on me just riding on their skateboards around the park and just said, "Hey, who's this guy? Why does he have a logo above his head?" And I said, "Yo, vote for me. I'm literally on the board. I got people to vote." Then once I did become mayor, every time that I played with somebody, whether they pulled up on the spot, they might have came to the park, seen my logo. I said, "Hey, I noticed like you're a pro too. Like, do you like it over at your park? Because I see that you're on the south side right now." And they were like, "Well, I mean," I'm like, "You know what? Let's go ahead and ride over to the city hall. Let's get you swapped out, and then you could be a Viper, play with me, get some good rep." And I actually helped so many people with their builds, as well as coaching in them while we're playing the game, so they can get better. It's really hard for the average Joe to know how to play the game and get the best animations and stuff like that. So they need people like us, the people that can actually, not scared to help others. You
At
know what I mean?
all.
That's my main thing. I'm not scared to help somebody else.
What I
that's good at
think
the
this
game.
is so
You know what I mean? I
dry.
don't even care if you
What I
get better
think-
than me. That's great. That's gonna help us for rival day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right. Okay. You guys are now allowed to interrupt. Obviously, be polite, but you guys can now counter. I'm gonna step off the podium and give you guys a little bit more of an opportunity. I'm gonna ask Drew one more question, which is obviously this is a huge platform for you. You've worked really hard and you deserve it as one of the top rep guys, but it must be kind of cool to be in the room with these guys that are making YouTube videos and known within the community. But how can you take this platform and further your
Finesse
2K
it. Be
career,
better with it.
and also further the agenda of the South City Vipers?
But a platform as a mayor is like wonderful. Right now, I'm a Twitch streamer.
This is a
I
great.
stream.
Where the clothes I
And
took out the
YouTube
car.
is little because it's like hard when
Yeah,
you're
me
trying to
the
grind
girl.
top rep. It's hard to do both. It's easier to stream because like you could just stream and grind. But yeah, it's like in a park I don't get that many games because like everybody just run for me. So if I was to be a mayor, I would get back-to-back games and like that would help so much.
Well, my counter to that though is if you're challenged to be able to both stream and grind, we're now adding another layer on that, which is you need to also lead an affiliation. So talk about how you're going to balance not
You
two
don't work
fans,
in the
but all of a
basement.
sudden 3.
If I was to try to lead, is basically what I would do is like,
Yeah,
'cause I'm a
talk when you
competitive
need
player.
to talk though,
Me,
son.
all
Like,
about
you
me
heard
is
something you
just
speak
winning,
on,
winning,
speak.
Second is not good enough. I want to be number
Yeah.
one. Always number one.
Hold on, I'm in the middle of
So
a video.
I have a lot of competitive players as friends. So if I was to try to get
Why, what's
them
up?
to switch over and make that switch over to Vipers, we would probably win Rival Day. Probably get some more players from other affiliations that's not so competitive. The whole thing about Rival Day, we have to have an equal popularity, because like it's not fair when we like have a little bit of people in our park
That's
and
a
the
fact.
Knights and the Beast have way more than us, because they're always gonna out like play us. So that's why I'm trying to get Vipers. We got an equal chance at Rival Day, so we can hopefully take one home.
Any plans, guys, on changing that volume? You guys, that's the first time I've heard that in this conversation, but obviously on social media it's talked about a lot, that a lot of the populations in the other affiliations talk about how you guys can counter that. I heard a little bit of that from iPod, but Will or Brutal, any thoughts there?
Well, I'm not worried about that because I've been around long enough to be part of the. We were Rivet City when we didn't have all the numbers. A lot of people went to Sunset when.
Yeah, that's a fact.
With the affiliation.
You hear him talking about Rivet City?
And Rivet, we still pulled together and we won rivalry weekend. So you don't necessarily have to have the numbers. We just have to have all hands on deck. All right. And my plan is to reach out to other people like y'all in here, the people that are competing for the spot. Y'all got some influence. You know what I mean? Like Shakedown. I'm really good with Shakedown. I don't hit him up because I like what he was doing in his first term. Like I love what he was doing as well. You know, I could reach out to these people and get everyone together and let's go at it. We need all hands on deck because my thing is just bringing everyone together.
Well, what are your thoughts there? Talk to me about some of the vibe of South City.
I really love South City. I feel like I kind of like having the lower population in a way because it shows that like people really want to be in the Vipers, and I feel like with one twist of turn, like with a new mayor or new courts or something like that, I feel like the Vipers would also get a lot more attention and put on the map, which would bring more population into the Vipers, which would
That's
help
a
us
fact.
every day.
I ain't lying.
Like I said, just pack the parks up even more.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because Rival Weekend is obviously this upcoming weekend. So when it is time for Rival Weekend, and look, the last time South City had a real challenge.
I mean, this is a very slow debate for me. No one's interjecting. No one got nothing extra to say. It's like
how are you
so
going to spread the
slow.
word
So
to
in
your
my
fellow members
mindset,
of the affiliation to participate and get
it's
them
between
W's?
the OGs and that's iPod and Google.
Well, I mean, of course, I'll be playing Rival Days, but I'll probably be streaming it and all that other stuff. So just to kind of bring light to the Rival Day, but and then I'll tweet out obviously, and then 2K will tweet out that it's Rival Day, and just hopefully we can get everybody to come in and play. Even if they're not winning, of course we want to win, but just them playing is better than just not trying at all. You know what I mean? So just hopefully see a lot of people out there just winning or trying to win.
iPod, you were part of that heavily, obviously.
Yeah, so
The
basically,
last time, how are you gonna, as a mayor, shift that so you guys have more of a chance in Rival Weekend?
So for the next week up until Rival Weekend, I have to keep riding around all the new parks, checking out all the new people who become different affiliations, because once they do come out of Rookieville, they actually just go into a random affiliation. So what I have been doing is riding around.
Oh, you've been
and
clouding.
Probably about an hour. Ride around for about an hour, see who's up, turn on my mic, invite people to the squad, say, hey, do you want to be in this affiliation? Just asking them general questions and, hopefully getting them to come over to the Vipers, because that'll give us a bigger player base. Of course, when it comes to sharing, of course, I'll make a YouTube video. I'll probably be streaming on all 4 of the platforms that I stream on, as well as tweeting out on things on IG. And of course, reaching out to other creators that I have been able to get the switch over to the Vipers. I'll probably get people like Agent to, throw a tweet out there, throw a little story up, letting everybody know when Rival Day starts, when it ends, and letting them know that we're going to be out there all day.
He just spoke on Agent. Talking about running by the
For a
field.
little bit, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, we got to grind. You know what I mean?
Drew, the fight. Talk about how you're going to get the message out there. Obviously, with less social media followers than the other guys, How can you get innovative? How can you get in them streets because you are one of the top grinders? Talk to me.
When I stream, when I stream Rival Day, I'm gonna try to tell people that's in my stream if they're with the Vipers to go play the Rival Day, and if I'm playing around in the park, I'm gonna just like let's say I'm in game chat, I'm gonna tell them make sure you play Rival Day to try to get us because I hate losing. I'm not a losing person. I'm a straight winner. Like it's no eat, sleep, nothing. It's just
Like everything is so dead in this.
grind, grind. That's what I'm all about.
They got dry voice.
Yes. Like as I said before, just reach out.
This is too dead for me, so I'm gonna already say who I'm gonna go with. I feel like Ipod King Carter got my vote. I can't watch no 30 more, 4 more. I can't watch no more of this. This is very dry, no excitement. I'm fresh off work. I'm yawning. But yeah, Ipod King Carter. Thank you.